everybody. Carlisle Brown Mountain Blooms. We'll put together a quick video for this weekend. It is the weekend of May 9th, right before Mother's Day. Got some chores to do and I want to put something together so you can follow along. One of the first things I want to get done today, while it's still cool, you can kind of see it's pretty overcast this morning, a little slight drizzle. Had a great rain this week, which we really appreciated. It was heavy, it stormed hard, but boy, we sure did appreciate that rain, and while it makes every difference in the world. First thing we're going to start out with is fertilizing. So if you ever come by, you see me out here, I'm not spraying for bugs, we're actually fertilizing with the sprayer. And what I use is a combination of black molasses and fish emulsion. Pretty easy to get, not super expensive, but mix it in the sprayer. We're going to do foliator spray, so we're going to be spraying the leaves. And really what I'm trying to do is get just really these young ones. I'm not too concerned for the bigger ones, at least not at this point of what we're growing. But yeah, trying to help them along a little bit. The weeds are doing really great, but you know, the flowers are coming along. So let's get to work. So I'm going to start with these feverfew. These are kind of a late planted feverfew. They're really young. That's why I really want to give them a little bit of extra help with the fertilizer. You can see they're kind of small, but we just want to give them a quick dose. This doesn't smell so great, but it does a good job, and it's natural. And that's what we're really looking for. So yeah, so no pesticide. Again, this is just that fish emulsion and that black molasses that we put on there. That's going to feed those leaves. Let's see, we're just going to get those good and soaked down. That's pretty much it. Let's move on to something else. Okay, here's some ageratum. Just got put in. I got some more to do today. That's another thing on the project. You'll see that in a little bit. I'm going to try to get some more put in this row. Get the rest of this row cleaned up. Said give these a good spray down. Let's get some more stuff. It is nice out here. Quiet this morning so far. Not a lot of people out and about in the mountains yet. I guess cloud cover and everything else, but it's nice and quiet. Birds singing. It's always nice time. this is where my lack of video skills, or even paying attention, looking at other things. So I just filmed all this stuff, me putting this together for you. But I didn't turn the camera on. So filming it or recording it, I probably should say. I'm showing my age again. Didn't necessarily work out too good for me, but so we're gonna do this again. I'm not gonna fill it up again. Here comes the motorcycles. The first one's for the day. Okay, let's try that again. I will say this. It is the reality of living really on near a main road in the mountains. You should be aware of that if you're ever thinking about moving up here, or buying a place. The main road here and around these parts, this is just part of it. Um, you know, those folks, it's free country. They're enjoying they're enjoying what they like to do. I enjoy what I like to do. It is a little annoying, but hey, it is America. It's cool. But back to what I was trying to say. So yeah, I accidentally did this before without recording, but I wanted to go over this again. So these are the two things that I use. Again, this is fish emulsion. You get this in any of the big box stores. And this is some black molasses. I got this offline, off I think maybe Amazon. Pretty simple stuff. Again, I don't use precise measurements. Basically, a little bit here, a little bit there. I kind of shoot for the water to be, I guess, a certain clarity, and I can kind of tell if I've done too much. If I've done too much, I'll pour it in a bucket, dilute it down, get it to the right one, what I want it to be or look like, and then go back in and spray. But yeah, I'm going to hit these shrubs behind me, get those, to help them get started well. Yeah, one of the nice things besides just feeding this is, like I said, if you really want to, the thing that I've learned, sorry for the shaking camera, the thing that I have learned is that, the healthier the plant, the less likely you're going to have bug pressure. So creating that balance of, you don't want to just throw fertilizer at it just to throw fertilizer at it. Not only is it an expense, it's really not healthy, again, for the soil and what we're getting with the soil. I really, really don't like doing the spray. But like I said, I'm still building soil. This is really, in some beds, this is only year 2. In others, where it's year 4, I don't even need to do it. I can already tell the difference in the plants and the quality that they grow. So, hopefully, can quit doing this, can reduce this expense. It's kind of hard to in some things because we cut so hard, and it's really trying to produce, and it does need a little bit of extra juice to do that compared to if you're just doing it in your yard, and randomly cutting things. But when we're cutting it really hard, expecting to get a big hard second flush, then yeah, it needs a little help with that. But got a lot of young plants, a lot of things we put in, and I'm going to hit those and spray those up as well. So I know the flower farm doesn't look that flowery right now, and that's true. We did have I believe is our last freeze. I'm pretty sure, looking at the extended forecast, um, this past Monday. It was a light freeze. It wasn't anything heavy, but it definitely, we had frost. We covered everything last weekend, getting ready for it, had everything ready to go. So no real damage. Some of the real warm season stuff that we've kind of gotten started, it doesn't like it. The frost cough generally protects it pretty good, but it it doesn't. It just tends not to grow very well until it kind of warms up. It's kind of like the heat next week. I think we're really going to get warm again. Um, I know down in Atlanta it's been fairly warm. Obviously south of here has been fairly warm, but hey, it's still pretty cool up here, particularly in the mornings and at night. Yeah, I had a long sleeve shirt on when I first came out this morning. So trying to, I think it was 59, excuse me, 49 um, this morning. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, these dahlias and some of those sunflowers I have over there, they're not real happy with that. They don't really care for that too much. But not sure if I'm going to be walking off camera now. Again, my filming skills are yet to be desired. I could see, like I said, you can hear the discussions about I had on the motorcycles. A clear day, there, yeah. On Saturday, they're pretty consistent. You kind of get used to it after a while. You don't really pay much attention to it. Um, like I said, the only time I really get annoyed with it is kind of early in the morning, late in the evening, when you really want to kind of enjoy sitting out and enjoying the weather, enjoying the day, you know. But again, to each his own. It's America. I will say this: it's pretty dangerous for people. I don't think people really know, because I know the news never. At least I've never seen. You know, we get the Atlanta stations here, and I've never really even heard them even mention, you know, the accidents they have up here, and even the deaths they have up here um, with the motorcycles. And now, you know, we call them race cars, but really, honestly, just the sports cars that people like to come and drive. You know, I get that. Curvy roads. It's nothing you're going to have in town. You can't do it. Too many cars, too many lights. But yeah, just be aware. If you're buying up here, spend some time at whatever you're looking at. Make sure that if that is going to bother you, that you try to stay away from the main roads. And it really is the main thoroughfares where the problems really arise. Next project, I'm not going to film very much of because it's not very interesting, but I get to look like a farmer on a pitchfork. And hey, that's cool. Okay, I'll show you this. This is really a lot of work, but it's also not, because I do take my time doing this. Um, but you know, if you've watched some of the earlier videos, you know that going and getting compost is not exactly a fun task either, and it's not cheap either. It tends to be quite an expense, you know. But not to mention it's not so great on my truck. But yeah, so you can see this is where we collect grass and old stems. We're gonna flip this over, give this a little air. This is all I'm doing to it. I know there's faster and better ways to do this. But this works for me. I want this to be low maintenance. If you can see, it's quite warm, so it's doing pretty good. I know it's cooking up good. You see, maybe you see that steam coming off of it. We want to flip this, get a little air. May add a little water to it. Looks pretty good. But I really should be breaking this up a little more like that, but I really don't have a lot of time today. I may do that on the next time I come out in a day or two and flip this thing, turn it over a little bit. But this works good. Oh, hey, that cart. Said this will really probably be ready, hopefully next year. Depends on how good I take care of it. I can I can keep it kind of hot and get it to break down faster. I'm trying to keep it wet and covered, um, so I can get that done. But yeah, so you can see this is just big, heavy grass, along with some old leaves from some, some old stems from stuff we cut. It's starting to break down good. It's definitely warm. That'll help. That'll kill off any of the seeds that are in there. But you know, if I spend a lot of time on this, I could get this going really pretty quickly, especially if there's grass in it. Oh, that really gets it cooking. But you know, doing other things, work and some other things, doesn't quite get done like it should. But that will largely do it right there. Oh, see, this doesn't take very long. It will break down really quickly. I can keep the heat up in it. Biggest pain is hauling these hoses around. I don't care how many hydrants I put out. I never seem to have one where I need it, and I never seem to have a hose with the multiple hoses attached to the right one. So, okay, that's it. I think the breeze is an issue. Okay, now take a little break. Show you a little bit of flower stuff because there is a little bit of flower. I know that's what most people want to see. They want to see the flowers. So if you go back a couple videos, you know that put these boxes of ranunculus in. Pretty pleased with how this came out. I really am. I let the boxes condition. You see that in the other video all winter, kind of build up, and they did pretty good. They really did. I think we've already picked close to 80 ranunculus out of it, and looks like we have a few more. A couple things that I did learn is I wasn't thinking. Imagine that. When I put them in these boxes, really they were mostly for the dahlias, keep away from the voles. But obviously, when I put them in, it was still way too early for dahlias. But so I had these ranunculus. Instead of putting them in the ground, I put them here. Problem is, there's a lot more sun here, particularly during the day. And as you will know, we've had some pretty high temperatures. Um, as well as some really cold. So it's been pretty extreme, and thus we've gotten some that are fairly short here. You can't see that one, can you? This one here, let me zoom in, give you a closer look. You can see most, as you can see, most of them are gone. Like I said, we cut pretty heavy in these. You can also see some pretty thin areas where some things really didn't do well, didn't come up. Again, that was, as I told you before, I had some questions about the corms, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, they've come out really, really nice. We've had some nice ones. They got a decent height, but I think between the heat and the sun and it being so warm, I'm just not sure they're in the exact right spot. But like I said, I know Connie has picked quite a few of these. Put a couple of bouquets together for gifts for some people. So I would call this an okay success. Like I said, we'll probably end up getting a little over, probably, I don't know, maybe 150 flowers out of this. Um, with a couple of failure rates on some of the stuff, I I wouldn't be I wouldn't be unhappy with that number. It tells me what I can do. It gives me a really good indication of making a commitment to these next year. That, definitely the higher box has helped with the vole issues, with the screening. Um, Probably put this in a different place. I don't know whether I'm build new boxes because I'm definitely going to need more of them, particularly if we want to sell them to anywhere on the market, because we're going to need a lot more than that, what we got out of this. But definitely, most definitely, I would call this a success. So nothing else is really blooming, as you can tell. You can probably see those. Those are just knockout roses against the fence. They're nice looking. They really are, and they're real happy. They've been real happy. Um, but obviously, we can't use those for cut flowers. But we did have a nice flush of Sweet William come out earlier. Um, Still got to make some decisions on it, and you may be able to see in the very far background some yellow irises that we have out that we grow. But really, a lot of things are budding up, but not a lot of flowering except really the ranunculus. Well, that's all I'm going to do for today, at least on this film. I got to put a lot of plants in the ground, and I don't want to bore you with putting in a couple of hundred plants in the ground. But appreciate you watching. If there's something you like, don't like, please message me. Let me know. I want to do this for your enjoyment, your entertainment. Also thinking about setting up out here, particularly when the flowers get going, and just film nothing but just the flowers. So something you can put up and enjoy, give you a little peace, quiet during the week or something to look at. Let me know if you're interested in that. And appreciate your support. At the farmers market, just had that meeting this week, our annual meeting to get ready for all the vendors. At the farmers market, excited. They got a lot of plans. It's going to be a great market. Again, Union County Farmers Market in Blairsville every Saturday morning. Come on by. Great vendors, a lot of things happening. It'll be a lot of fun. You can check them out. I think they have a place on Facebook, and I think they just did a website too, so you can see all the vendors there, so you can actually see who's going to be there. But yeah, look forward to it. We're excited. Hopefully, next few videos I can actually start getting you quite a bit more flowers. So we're getting close, but still not quite there yet. But appreciate you watching. Thanks again. See you next time.